And check out this rain. Wow, this is from Sellersburg, Indiana. You can see heavy rain and wind moving throughout the area, which we saw earlier this afternoon amid some tornado warnings. So dark right there. As of right now, no significant damages, even though there is damage, have been reported across Kentuckiana. And thanks for sticking with us here. I'm Connie Leonard.
And I'm Doug Profit. We have had scattered reports coming in of tree damage onto homes after today's severe weather. One is coming in, a report down on a mobile home in Clarksville. We're going to be taking you there live in this newscast. But right now, Ben, you've been telling us about this weather for a few days now. But I got to tell you, Connie, it was weird coming into downtown Louisville this afternoon and to hear the tornado warning sirens echoing off the buildings downtown, Ben.
Yeah, very busy around 2 o'clock when we had those tornado warnings, especially up in Oldham County. And thankfully, just a couple of reports of some trees down there. We still have a severe thunderstorm watch until 8 p.m. I really do believe this will be canceled very early, though, way before that, as the severe thunderstorm warnings are now off to the east. No warnings in place at this time, as we have pretty much garden variety showers and thunderstorms around the area, and things really settling down west of I-65 as we zoom in a little bit closer. Still some heavy rain coming down here over Spencer County, heading from Mount Washington to near Taylorsville with that batch of rain, and then also pretty heavy here in eastern Shelby County, but drier now in metro Louisville, although there's a couple of little pockets of some rainfall developing just out to the west. In Harrison County, just off to the east of Corden, and then off to the south, some spotty showers here and there, and these are on a weakening trend as well. So that severe weather threat diminishing pretty rapidly for us. You can see Futurecast pushing some of those showers off to the east over the next hour or two. Mostly dry tonight and tomorrow, with clouds still lingering around the area. Our high temperatures will be mostly in the upper 70s for our Wednesday, and mostly dry as well. 77 right now downtown Sellersburg, and even cooler Shepherdsville at 70 degrees. So a mix of mostly 70s around the area. Touch cooler where we just had some rain. Campbellsville at 72 degrees. So drying out for tonight, low 66 degrees, 75 at noon tomorrow, and mostly dry and mostly cloudy tomorrow, the high of 79 degrees. Now, the remnants of what is right now Tropical Storm Helene, which is expected to become a hurricane, should bring back some big rain chances later this week. We'll track it coming up in the 7-day.
All right. Thank you so much, Ben. And here at 5, after tornado warnings and severe thunderstorms, we're getting reports of some large trees causing damage.
One big tree, Connie, coming down on a home in the Silver Lakes Point mobile home community. That's in Cementville of Clark County. WHAS11's Gabriel Gonzalez has been on the scene for a few minutes. And Gabe, was anybody hurt at this location?
This location. I did speak to the homeowner who lives in this house where that tree fell, and he said he actually saw the tree falling. Not only did he hear it, but he saw the tree fall. He was in his kitchen, he looked out the window, and he saw the tree fall. Now, if I'm just going to scoot over here, you can see the tree completely uplifted and uprooted, and it also messed up his sidewalk. You can see right there the sidewalk kind of going over the tree. Now, that is also where his deck was. The tree completely falling on top of his deck, taking out the entire deck. Right now, there are some crew members in the back. You might hear it in the background. There are some crew members with some saws trying to tear up that tree, get it smaller so that way they can take it and move it. But right now, that tree completely uprooted, as you can see. Now, there's in this neighborhood that you mentioned, it is a mobile home park neighborhood. In this neighborhood, there's a couple of other little tree branches kind of scattered around the area. There's also big puddles of water. We are just a little bit north of Clarksville in a town called Cementville. There is absolutely no rain right now. The sun is out. It just kind of got covered by some clouds. So everything is a little back to normal, but there are some stuff around here that will need to be cleaned up, and we're going to be monitoring that and hopefully talk to some other homeowners and see what they've seen. Reporting live, Gabriel Gonzalez, back to you.
Gabe, real quick, we didn't hear you very well at the beginning. Was anybody hurt at that location? Can you clarify that, what you said?
Of course, yes. Nobody was hurt, and that is good news. I did speak to this homeowner who lives in this house where that tree fell. He is fine. He hasn't said that anybody was hurt. I will talk to him here in a bit once again, but so far, nobody has been hurt here in this neighborhood.
All right. Thank you very much in Clarksville there at Silver Lakes. That's in Cementville. If you see any storm damage in your area and can safely take videos or photos, go ahead and send them to the number we have on your screen, and we'll post them for you on the air. Text 502-582-7290, and we'll put it right here on the air.
And remember, the best way you can stay up to date with any severe weather that comes through our area is right through the WHAS11 News app. Be sure to download it onto your phone. We'll send you notifications straight to you.
I can't really talk about those things, but there's a lot of information that I think will come out. And like I said, the university resources definitely failed him.
Former Campbellsville University wrestling coach Frankie James speaking with WHAS11 News following his recent termination from the university. James claims he was wrongfully fired from his position as coach for supporting his team during a tragic time back in February.
Another teammate in this case is being charged with murder. Charles Escalera is facing charges in the death of 18-year-old Josiah Kilman. Investigators say Escalera admitted to the February killing several times. However, he's pleading not guilty and is currently being held on a bond of $1 million. WHAS11's Jose Alonso and photojournalist Emma Gefter talking with the former coach now, who's calling his termination unfair.
Turnover at Campbellsville University's wrestling program. The private Christian school was at the center of a student who was killed, leading to the manhunt for Charles Escalera in February.
So the month that he was here, we recognized that he was having some mental health issues, and we worked hard to make sure that those university resources were available to him, and he used those university resources, and those university resources failed him.
6 months after the tragedy on campus, head coach of the wrestling program, Frankie James, was fired from his position. He founded the program in 2004.
Because I was so hurt and upset. How do you treat someone like this? You know, we're a private Christian school. You know, you're not doing what's best for your students or your longtime employees right now. What is going on? It just feels like a betrayal, and they've just needed someone to kind of put this on, and so yeah, they're making me the scapegoat is what it seems like. Yeah.
For the first time, he's speaking out on what he's calling an unjust firing. His termination letter says he was discharged with cause as a result of how he interacted with his team during this tragic time.
Our team healed, and we were moving on, and we were ready to go and start a new season and start a new year. And like I said, a week before, you wait until a week before to make this decision. It happened in February. How do you wait 6 months to make this decision when everybody's healed up?
I reached out to the university and asked them for more details on Mr. James's termination. I also asked them if they received letters and emails from alumni looking for some clarity on the termination as well. The university responded saying they do not comment on private matters.
I think that's been their goal, is to be quiet and kind of sweep it under the rug, and yeah, I think they're going to stay quiet.
James calls 18-year-old Montana native Josiah Kilman a kind person and says the loss continues to eat at him.
That's a terrible thing, you know, I brought him here, so I feel awful and terrible about that. So yeah, there's a lot of trust there from the family and from the individual, and coming, you know, and so they're trusting my reputation. They're coming out to wrestle for our program, and yeah, it's just a tragedy. People are invested in the wrestling program here in my 20 years here, and they want to know what's going on. How could a private Christian university treat someone this way?
A new semester on campus with many questions left unanswered. In Campbellsville, Jose Alonso, WHAS11 on your side.
That termination letter also stated that the former coach can no longer speak with current students or be on campus without permission. James says he still has personal items on campus he's trying to get back, but Campbellsville University won't answer him or his lawyer. Tonight, a former Kentucky pastor is voicing his support for Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear's recent executive order, which limits conversion therapy in the state.
He's sharing his experience in ministry with WHAS11 and his change of heart that came years ago. Isaiah Kim Martinez and senior photojournalist Alyssa Newton are continuing our coverage on this issue. And Isaiah, who did you talk to?
Well, Connie, Doug, this is Bob Browning here. He's actually a retired Baptist pastor here in the state who way back in 2020 advocated for a bill to make conversion therapy on LGBTQ kids illegal here in the state. Browning met me in Elizabethtown for an interview today.
I see the dark side and the result of it when it does not work, and it doesn't.
Conversion therapy is the practice of attempting to change a person's sexual orientation by using psychoanalysis, counseling, and other methods. It's a widely discredited practice. Browning tells me after years of talking to young people who had been exposed to it, he felt called to advocate against it. Meanwhile, since the governor signed that executive order last week, religious conservatives in Kentucky have been pushing back.
I do know that there are legislators who are concerned with the steps that the governor has taken. And, you know, I trust that they will do what they can to roll back what he's done.
That's Nicholas Spencer. He's the director of policy for the Family Foundation of Kentucky. He's worried about the potential chilling effect the governor's action could have on mental health professionals. He says it infringes upon their religious liberties. Now, it's important to note here, legislation to ban conversion therapy on kids in Kentucky has seen support from both Republicans and Democrats in the legislature over the years. But to this point, none of those bills have seen significant movement. Doug.
And one other important distinction to remember here, Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear's executive order is not a ban on conversion therapy. Rather, it directs state agencies to pull funding and potentially suspend or revoke licenses from therapists reported to be practicing it. Only the Kentucky legislature can pass a bill to make it illegal.